Thank you for having me here. I had surgery last July. I tore my ACL and my PCL, so gone for a little bit.
How difficult was that to not? I'm assuming you weren't able to train. You had to go through a little bit of a layoff.
It was just I feel like the most difficult part of it was just the beginning, because I couldn't really move. I was in bed the whole time. I tell everybody my wife was hiding my crutches. I was trying to get up, but like just be walking around with the crutch. I'm like, I'm good with the crutch. She's like, no, sit down. She's a nurse. So she takes extra precautions taking care of me.
Was it difficult just mentally not being able to go out and train?
Yeah, for sure. For sure. It was a little bit difficult. I'm used to always being on the run, just working out, training, driving to Orange County to go train. So, I mean, just putting the brakes on me a little bit was a little bit hard.
Did you do anything that you wouldn't normally do? Like, did you start watching a show you would never seen or read like a book that you hadn't, anything like that?
Man, being in bed till 12 sometimes, that's something I never do. I always wake up like at 5 in the morning, go outside, go check on my animals, go run, go do something. And right now, when I was in bed, I was like, damn, I can't do nothing.
So now that you're back, what do you think of ring rust? Do you think that that's a real thing? Do you think that's more a mental thing?
I mean, I think it's a little bit more mental. As soon as I could walk, I started doing a little bit of movement. I was in the gym, just sitting there watching people train and just keeping myself like up to date, to see what they're learning, what they're doing. So that helped a lot too.
What did you think of the opponent when you got the name?
I mean, I was excited. I feel like it's a great opponent for me. It's beating Grant Dawson. It's knocking on the top 15.
He did an interview recently where he said that he would prefer to be dominant and not as exciting. What do you think of that kind of mindset?
I mean, everybody has their own their own way of thinking, but I mean, I like to go out there and dominate, but in a violent fashion. Go in there and try to finish somebody always.
What sort of fight are you expecting from him?
I think he's gonna try to take me down, shoot. He's gonna try to make me walk back. But I mean, I'm not taking a step back. I'm getting in his face, making him back up, and I'm getting that finish.
Thank you.
Hey, Rafa. I don't know if you checked, but you're a 330 underdog. And are you kind of surprised at how big of an underdog you are?
I don't even know how that works, but no, I mean, it doesn't matter. I haven't fought in a while, so it's normal, I guess.
Have you been bummed, not being able to be part of the two UFC Noche events? They went to Mexico in February. You've been kind of on the sidelines just as watching?
A little. I mean, I was supposed to fight in July, then they changed it to August, and they said September. Then we finally got the deal done in October. So, I mean, I just feel that God plans are perfect. I mean, if you put me to fight in October, I'll fight in October.
And you're sharing a card with Dan Argueta. Does that make you any nervous sharing a team with a teammate?
It's exciting. I mean, I bet I'll be nervous when he's fighting. I'm going to be a little bit nervous. I mean, it's normal because Dan is someone I appreciate a lot, and I know he's going to be nervous when I fight too. So I mean,
gotcha. Great. And then finally, since you last fought, Danny Silva has gotten into the UFC, picked up a win. Were you excited to see him get the contract?
Hell yeah, because I've seen how hard they work. So I'm excited. I'm always cheering for my teammates.
Awesome. Good luck this weekend.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We've heard in the past when fighters been injured and sit there and at the gym watching everybody train that the mental side of preparation gets a lot of work. Did you feel that you're coming in maybe more clear of this fight because you've had so much time to kind of think about it and you've been thinking more mentally about the game as opposed to partaking in the training camps and stuff?
Yeah, for sure. One thing that I also did when I got injured, I mean, I was only in home like for 2 weeks, and then Cub was like, man, I have my fight week. Come to Vegas with me. And he brought me in crutches. Like, my dad had to drive me out here, drop me off, and I was doing PT out here. I did most of my PT out here in Vegas, the PI. So, I mean, I was always watching practices, seeing me doing conditioning. I mean, just revolving myself in the fighting aspect of the game, doing things that I could do. I mean, I couldn't work my leg. The PI would get a strength and conditioning coach and make me do arms, like stuff related to fighting, I was in the PI doing my physical therapy. I was doing physical therapy twice a day, and it helped a lot,
Yeah. Do you feel like that maybe helped speed up the process of getting back in?
Yeah, of course. I mean, after that 1 week that I was training the PI, I was walking already. I mean, obviously with my brace, but I was walking already. So I mean that's like a significant, I mean, improvement.
And I know no fighter wants to take time off from fighting, but we often hear that the mental side of the fight is sometimes bigger and the more challenging than the actual physical part of the fight. Do you agree with that? And do you feel that the mental side is something, it's kind of, I guess, a blessing that you were able to focus on the mental side of things as opposed to just the physical?
Yeah, I mean, the hardest part for me was just having people like babying me a lot, you know? That was the hard part for me, being babied. But besides that, I mean, I got to spend a lot of time with my kids, with my wife, my family, just being home. I mean, I'm always traveling. I used to do my camps in Denver. This camp I did in Orange County. I'm still traveling. I'm driving 3 hours and a half to come train. I'm here the whole week, and then just see my family in the weekend. So just being with them that time off was really good.
You said you trained this camp in a different area. What was
Yeah.
the decision behind that?
I mean, just changing things up a little bit, you know. Feel like there's always room for change and to evolve.
Yeah. And I guess last for me, just keys to the victory. What needs to happen to make sure they get your hands raised on Saturday?
I mean, just make the Grant Dawson walk back and put my hands on him and just make it a pressure fight, you know.